for those of you who I repair Xboxes for, I'm just going to do a short little video to show you how I fixed your Xbox. First thing we're going to do is we're going to get some tinfoil. Yeah! The next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to go over here and I'm going to start my oven. Bake. Drop it down to 250. Start. Now I'm going to let my oven preheat to 250. I'm going to go over here. Alrighty, this is the Xbox motherboard, completely stripped down. Here's your GPU, here's your CPU. These are your RAM chips. These like to get hot and unseat. The board flexes. As of right now, the board looks like it's pretty straight. But when it gets really hot, it bows in the middle, causing these chips to unseat and to have problems. So, we're going to bake it in the oven for 2 hours and 15 minutes. And that is going to cause the board to unflex back to where it's normally supposed to be, and it will also help to keep these chipsets reseated. So right now, we're going to wrap it in tin foil because we don't want to cook all this stuff. We just want to cook this stuff. Alright, now that we're done, this is what the Xbox looks like. We've left the RAM chips exposed, GPU, and CPU. Now normally, if this was an HDMI Xbox or one of the later Xboxes that has the ANA chip, or the ANA chip that has solder balls, you want to leave that exposed also. That will pretty much get rid of all your E74 errors. I guarantee it. I've done about 12 Xboxes that I had sitting around that I could not get to stop E74ing. I baked them. Every single one of them is working like a champ right now. So if you do that, your E74, boom, good to go. You won't have to take your Xbox out and shoot it with all sorts of ammunition or drop it down a flight of stairs or put it in a pool or all this other kinds of crazy shit I've seen on YouTube. Now, one thing, if you're following this as a tutorial, I'm just going to say, before you put this in your oven, you want to leave the bottom exposed. One thing you don't want to do not set, you're going to get 2 pieces of tin foil and you're going to put them like this. They're going to be pretty small to keep it up off this rack because you don't want it sitting on the rack. And when you put it on there, you do not want the tin foil to sit across this chip. That's bad. I did that on one Xbox and it flattened these chips out. So now we're going to place that on the rack. As you heard, probably the oven just got done preheating. We're going to put it in the oven at 250 degrees for 15 minutes. Alrighty, we just placed our Xbox in the oven. As you can see, there it is sitting on the tin foil. And well, you can't really see that, but I just wanted to try and show you where it was sitting on there. So we got it in there. I just started the timer. 15 minutes, 250 degrees. And then once it's done cooking, what we'll do, what I do, is I will clear all the settings, open the door for about 5 minutes to let as much heat out as I can, and then I will go back and I will reheat to 170 degrees, and that's when I bake for 2 hours. Alright, this is your CPU heatsink and this is your GPU heatsink. That's the earlier one. Here's the newer one that's being used. Alright, this is the X clamp that holds them onto the motherboard and holds the surface down to the top of the chipset. These cause a lot more stress on the motherboard when it heats up than was intended. And it causes the motherboard to flex. And things not to work properly, especially when the solder balls under the GPU and CPU are lead-free solder, which means that they reliquefy once they get so hot. And when that happens, you can get bridged connections, and when they heat up and re-solidify, they can get little minute stress cracks in them and cause connections not to be made. So that's what's going on, and that shit sucks. Bad on you, Microsoft. Alright, I just pulled that Xbox out of the oven. Removed all the tin foil. This is the back side. Got my screws in place that are going to hold the GPU and the CPU on. Alright, now one crucial step is to replace See how those chipsets are pristine looking? They don't look like that when the Xbox is first taken back apart. Well, we're gonna put down some Arctic Silver. We're gonna be a little generous on this board. Alrighty. Now we're gonna put our hardware stack up on there. One nylon washer, one regular washer. Nylon, regular, and we're going to do this all the way around. Then we're going to put the heatsink back on. Alright, and I just finished getting the heatsinks back on, and now I'm going to apply the IR board, which syncs your controllers and houses the ring of light. Give this baby a test. Oh, duh. Let's plug it in first. Alright, now it's plugged in. Now let's give it a try. This is after baking it for 2 hours and 15 minutes. Bam! Damn, that booted up quick! That is a successful Xbox 360 revival. Bada bing. Bada boom. Normal heat. Alright, let's finish putting it back together. Just a quick little video. If you look right here, you can see the washers and the stack up. Those hold these very level and keep the pressure all the same. Alright, this Xbox is put back together and running like a champ. Now, you may be wondering, what can I do to keep this from happening? Well, the best way to combat this is, since your DVD drive is directly above your GPU, when it's running, it's actually generating more heat in your Xbox. Not an extremely high amount of heat, but enough heat that it does add to what's going on with the heat sinks. The best way to combat this is when you put in a game, you'll see your little game screen pop up. Press Y, and it's going to give you the option to install the game. Go ahead and press A and let it do its thing. It's going to install the game to your Xbox. Then, when you put in a game, like right now, it's doing its thing. It's got to read the game. It's generating a ton of heat. But when it's done doing that, you'll be able to actually run the game from your hard drive. Although you still need the disc in the tray, it will play directly from the hard drive. And now this is completely separate, really, from the Xbox, and it uses its own heat, does its own thing. That way you're not, one, beating up on your drive, and two, adding extra heat to the inside of the Xbox. So that's my recommendation. Install your games to the hard drive. When you're done, you can just go in and delete it. So, yep. Well, there you have it. That is baking, rebuilding, and protecting your Xbox. Thanks for watching.